I'm going to show you how to identify the invisible magnet that governs your choices and, in less than 20 minutes, take the first step toward breaking the cycle of attracting those who hurt you, achieving a spiritual clarity you've never had before. If you don't look at this shadow now, you will continue living out the same script of pain with different faces. Your soul's time is too precious to be spent on repetitions that no longer belong to you. As a seeker of ancestral wisdom and someone who dedicates their life to deciphering the languages of the unseen, I invite you to be still, to hear what the masters of the past have to tell us about the present. Perhaps you think it's just bad luck, or that the problem always lies with the other person, but the truth is that your biology and your soul are merely trying to complete a story you haven't yet understood. Today, through a symbolic practice of self-observation, you will begin to dismantle this pattern in a simple yet profound way. Often, we believe our romantic choices stem from our conscious will, but spirituality and deep psychology teach us that there is a silent magnetism operating beneath the surface. Carl Jung stated that what does not become conscious becomes fate. That pain you haven't yet embraced, whether it's childhood rejection or a forgotten abandonment, acts as a vibrational beacon, attracting the exact frequencies that resonate with that wound. It is not a punishment from the universe. It is a healing mechanism trying to bring to light what is stored in the darkness of the soul. When you understand that the other person is merely a messenger of your own inner content, bad luck dies and spiritual responsibility is born. But to understand how this magnetism operates in practice, we need to look into the basements of our own identity. This magnet doesn't just look for anyone, it seeks out what we ourselves have exiled. This is where love stops being just an encounter and becomes the stage where our shadow decides to manifest. Jung taught us about the shadow, that basement where we throw everything we consider unacceptable in ourselves. In the theater of relationships, we project this shadow onto our partner. If you have forbidden your own strength, you will attract aggressive people. If you have denied your own vulnerability, you will seek someone who needs constant care. In African philosophy, the concept of Ubuntu reminds us that I am because we are. In love, this means the other person is the soil where I see the seeds I planted in secret. By recognizing that the other person's behavior is a mirror of your exiled parts, you begin to integrate your wholeness and stop using people as crutches for your own shadow. If the other person is this revealing soil, how can we walk upon it without losing ourselves in the pain of projection? The answer has crossed centuries and reached us through the clarity of the ancient masters of reason. They invite us to trade lamentation for investigation, transforming the mirror of the relationship into a tool for lucidity. The Stoics, like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, taught that it is not facts that disturb us, but the judgment we make of them. If you attract people who hurt you, practical philosophy invites you to radical self-knowledge. What in you still gives permission for this pain to take root? Socrates said that the unexamined life is not worth living. By examining your patterns with Stoic lucidity, you realize that inner peace does not depend on the other person changing, but on your ability to withdraw the projections you cast upon them. It is the end of the victim role and the awakening of the conscious observer, who chooses where to deposit their vital energy. However, this conscious choice often runs into an older noise, a frequency that didn't start today. To truly be masters of our own destiny, as the Stoics proposed, we need to understand that the current scenario is just the echo of a story that began long before us, in roots that touch our ancestry. Why does the scenery change, but the pain remains the same? Because the soul has an intrinsic need to conclude what was left open. If there was an interrupted dialogue with ancestral figures, such as parents or caregivers, the unconscious will seek out current characters to try and rewrite that script. In African ancestral wisdom, honoring the past does not mean staying stuck in it, but healing the lineages so that the flow of life can run free. As long as you try to fix your current partner to heal a wound from the past, you will be living in a trance. Spiritual awakening happens when you decide that the old story ends with you, liberating your descendants and yourself from this labyrinth of repetitions. When we accept that we are the final point of these ancestral repetitions, the chains of the past begin to give way. But this liberation doesn't happen in the future, nor in the eternal analysis of what has passed. It happens in the only place where life truly pulses and where the magnetism of pain has no power, in the vibrant silence of the now. Healing doesn't come from finding the right person, but from becoming the conscious person. Presence is the solvent that dissolves patterns. When you inhabit the now, the magnetism of the shadow loses its strength, because you no longer need the external mirror to know who you are. As Ubuntu wisdom teaches us, the healing of one is the healing of the collective. By healing your vision of your relationships, you change the frequency of your field, and the doors that were once locked by lack begin to open through fulfillment. The way out is, truly, the way in. It is the moment when consciousness interrupts the cycle, and you, finally, take the reins of your destiny. We have reached the portal of transformation. You have realized that the people who crossed your path with pain were, in fact, rigorous teachers pointing you toward where you did not yet love yourself. The journey of spiritual awakening is not about becoming perfect, but about becoming whole, embracing your light and your shadow with the same compassion. I don't ask you to imagine anything. I ask that, today, you look into a physical mirror in your home. Look into your own eyes for 1 minute and say silently, "I see what I projected. I welcome what I exiled. I release those I tried to fix." Feel the weight of these words in your body. Feel the freedom of not needing the other person to be the guardian of your healing. If these words touched something inside you, perhaps it is time to take one more step on this path of reconnecting with your inner truth. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to continue receiving content that nourishes the soul with presence and authenticity. Share in the comments what resonated with your heart. Your story might be the mirror someone else needed to find. If you are looking for a safe harbor, know that our community is the sanctuary where fertile silence is shared and deepened. Enjoy the channel's posts. And, to continue expanding this field of presence, we suggest the video pinned in the card. May it be a source of inspiration on your journey. Peace and light.